Alright, and now, with the dice that we need, I will roll a d4 to see who does the recap. I got a 3, so if I count down, that is Alex. Alex, what happened last time when you went through the portal into these Hollers?
Let's see. When we stepped outside of the portal, we found ourselves in a rather... I don't think the area was described too much in detail to us, but I recall it being mountainous around us and sort of a valley to walk between, if I recall. But on the mountains next to us, there was a spot that was obviously sealed away by some large, oversized rock. And so we broke it open, fought some nasty skeletons that were on the inside. I believe one was a serpent with a pole arm constructed of a bone, and I think the other...
Which you own now, I think.
Yeah, I got on my character sheet right here. The other one, I think it was more humanoid. I don't recall it fully. I think it might have had 4 arms, and I know its rib cage shot its bones or spines out at us.
Skull of a bull too, if that matters.
Yeah, you're right. It was a bull.
And it had four hands, I think, isn't it? Or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not sure.
Inside the cave, once we took care of those, we found the chained coffin, which is, of course, what the original adventure module was named after. We learned. Well, we talked to the man inside. I believe his name, I have it written here as Zagoon. I hate that. The goon. We saved a goon in a coffin. And well, we strapped him to some. Well, I think we have the snakes pulling him. We might have strapped him to a sled. I don't recall exactly how we got him out of there, but. Yes, the two skeletons we killed, or knocked down. They were risen from the dead, and they covered them up in robes, and they're the ones pulling around the coffin. We went down to the nearest town. The people there were really, really nice, though they obviously thought we were a little weird. And I think that at the end of the session, we had secured a place to stay for the night. That's where we left off.
Yeah. Yes. So someone offered to allow you to stay in their loft at their place, and they fed you, and you start out in Bent Pine today, back in town. Now, zooming out, big picture, all of you at one point were simple peasants and craftsmen. In a place miles from here, in fact. And then creatures started to steal people at night. And you became so desperate and no one would help you that you formed a war band of insane, or a rabble, and you just like marched on the keep. And several of you, something changed you. You became these heroes. You slew a Chaos Lord. You took command of a Minhir that travels the stars, and you've gone on all these adventures. And now, having thwarted the host of chaos several times, it's catching up to you. And of the 2 chaos champions, Molon and Phalon, the forces of chaos have invited Phalon back into the world. And now, the thing that you have sought for so long, a repair to your ship so that you can raise it from the Great Swamp and take back to the stars, what's called an arcane will, is here in these very valleys and in these mountains. And that's the same device that could power the transformation of Phalon into a full Chaos Lord. And so you're in a race against time to try to make it to the Luhsaal Wheel before he does. Guided by this holy knight of Justicia bound in this orichalcum coffin. So he can sense Phalon's evil, and he can sense the Luhsaal Wheel and tell you if you're getting closer or farther away. But this is what's going on when you wake up in Bent Pine, refreshed and fed by your benefactors. So, now, the people down here in Bent Pine, they do think you're awfully strange. What do you do today? You can, from here you can go anywhere you want. But
Well,
time is running out, and you're not sure exactly when Phelan will obtain his prize.
I believe so. We should go into the direction of place where we supposed to go. So, Patrick is Patrick is gonna whisper to that coffin while we maybe like in some kind of reclusive spot that nobody would see us. So where do we have to go now? The coffin man. I don't remember your name.
My name is Zagoon. I'm a servant of Justicia, the Lady of Mercy and Justice. I cannot see where we are. Sounds like we're in some village. I can feel that we're closer than when you first found me.
And if your intention is to travel, I'll actually show you the map here.
He said last time that it was on some kind of mountain, isn't it? And we are supposed to go to that mountain, if I remember correctly. If I'm mistaken,
No, that's what I'm remembering too. And we know for sure it isn't off to the east where we traveled last time when we approached the edge of this map. Zagoon told us that he felt the presence fading, the one that we were meant to be moving after.
When you mention like it being in a mountain and where it is, he says,
I cannot know its precise location, the will, but I know that it is somewhere in the heart of the Shudder Mountains. It must be in the deep valleys. It's in a place that these people call the Deep Hollers, in its very heart.
The Deep Hollows, eh? It's early in the morning. Are there people out and about in Bent Pine for us to speak with?
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Geese is gonna, approach perhaps a couple women talking to each other and kind of, walk up to them and be like, hey, fair ladies, I've heard tell of a story, perhaps in a legend of some place. Have you heard of the Deep Pines? Do you know anything about them?
Roll a d12.
Alright, let's see. New dice. That's very convenient. I like it. Oh, I got a 4.
4, okay. One of the women, she's a younger woman, and she says, yes, hello, Mister. Why am I British all of a sudden? Why can I not do my own accent where I'm from? What? Hey there, Mister. Yes. There is a road down through there. I know. Not far from where the 3 rivers meet. That's where you're in the deep hollows. You get down in that holler because you know them 3 rivers that fall down in there, and they get down in that holler. That's now I've not been there, but they used to say there was a grand kingdom here in this place, and so you can still see some of the flagstones that have made the roads down in there, where you can see 2 roads meet.
Well, thank you very kindly. Giza kind of tries to mimic their accent for some reason. Also, suddenly shifting up my accent oddly.
Yeah.
He thanks them and wishes them well on their day, and he'll relay that information to the party that the deep hollows are where the 3 rivers meet, and they mentioned the road, so perhaps following this road. Alright, I think, unless we need to secure some rations, Giza has nothing more that he... Yeah, that's all Giza has to add to the scene for the moment.
I've got 8 days worth of rations and a full water skin.
All right.
Yeah, let's buy some rations. That would be, yeah. Patrick is gonna say we should secure some of the provisions for us to not starve to death while we're traveling.
All right, you can buy rations here at regular price, book price.
Yeah. So for a week maybe, and that's some kind of dry jerky.
Yeah, I think they pickle things. So you get a glass jar that has like pickled parts of pigs and pickled eggs and lots of pig parts.
That sounds nice.
Some of it you wonder.
Trotters?
It's packed in here. It's packed into the jar, so you wonder what parts you might be eating from the pig.
Yeah, sure. That's nice. We should buy that. We have loads of money, so let's buy. Each one of us, maybe buy it.
Yeah, we go rations between all of us. That'll be plenty to move on.
You get yourself some old, well, not old, but some tough, dry fry cakes. It's fried into a pan enough, and then kind of hardened. It's over fried. It'll probably last for a week or 2. And a big 2-pound thing of souse loaf, and some pig parts in jars, and dried out venison and fruit.
Yeah, that's so nice. I'm gonna put something into the.
Does anybody else want to do anything in town?
It says 3 6/8 for apples.
Oh, 3 and 6/8 pence, I think is, if I were guessing, but maybe not. Maybe it's like 3 for 6/8 of a pound or something.
And that'd be copper.
Oh wait,
silver.
no, it's 3. It's 3 copper for 8 apples, 5 copper for 5 corn, and 4 copper for 3 potatoes.
In that case, I will spend the 3 copper for the apples.
All right, now these will go bad in 2 or 3 days, but that'll give you. But you could eat them as your rations for those days.
That's the idea.
And if you ever find a use for an apple, you'll have apples.
Mm-hmm. All right, how many apples you said?
It's 3 copper for 8 apples.
8 apples.
Also, some water would be nice. That could be.
Yeah, there are people. There's a fresh wellspring nearby.
As
I suppose it bears some wondering then. Do we see anything? Are there any distinct buildings in this town of Pine that we can see, or is it
Bent Pine?
Yeah, Bent Pine.
Well, this is what you see here. It has about a dozen buildings. There's a blacksmith, a general store, a lumber yard, a tavern or eatery called Tucker's, a stable. They're not selling any horses though, but they will shoe horses, a furrier, and will take care of horses and breed them. Everything has this rugged log construction to it, and it's roofed with sod. There's a plank building dressed in clapboard and whitewashed. This is clearly a church, first church of the Sovereign of Bent Pine. And yeah, that's what you see here. So there's nothing like a weapons store, or they don't serve adventurers here. This appears to be kind of like a place serving travelers and loggers, people that probably especially loggers that come through here and work in the forest and come to and from there.
Maybe we should buy like at least do we have like a rope and a hook, just in case we need to,
We got tools. We got tools like that. Maybe we can probably pick up some tools that we might be missing.
You could totally any tool in the book, like a basic tool, you could certainly buy that at the blacksmith.
if it helps at all, I've got holy waters, wheels, lantern, hand crowbar, pole, spikes, and food and drink, and sacks to carry stuff.
As you all are, I assume, not having your undead army and coffin walking around town as you're doing this. I assume you find the best possible way to handle that situation, but you're still trying to gather supplies without revealing your snake woman and undead army of snakes and skeletons and coffins and stuff. And so, but as you're doing this, there's a young man sitting on a fence post eyeing you, and he's got a fiddle, and he's just messing with his fiddle and looking at you.
An apple for a tune?
Yeah, if you throw him an apple, he says, "Why, thank you, mister. Why is it a Brooklyn accent? This is my accent. Why?" Anyways, he starts plucking at his violin, testing it, and he sings this song. He says, "Now come meet me, my dear, when the wind shakes the pines, and the hoot howl screeches and the vanished moon shines." And he sings this song. I will post the song in the chat because I'm not going to sing the whole song.
I mean, you start very great. You can continue.
No, let me find it. I don't know if the author intended for someone to actually sing this song, but I'll give you the lyrics.
Maybe it's a parody of that one bard in that one TSR module, Wrath of the Lizard King or something like that.
I think it's related to the Manly Wade Shellman books. That's my guess. That is my guess. But I will pick it apart here. It's like, "Come meet me, my dear, where the wind shakes the pines, the hoot owl screeches, and the vanished moon shines, deep down in deep hollows. I'm a heart-stricken stranger, tearing out the crossroads where the compacts were made, nor pause in places that they call home to the shades. Speak not of the pardoner, unto him give no sins. I wait for you by the river's run begins. The old bridge above me, the love spans space. I dream of your presence, your sweetness, your face. Leave me not to suffer down in the deep hollows alone, a lost footsore wanderer who craves your love like home."
When the wind shakes the pines. Owl screeches and vanishes moonshine. Deep hollows. Tarry not by the crossroads. Alright.
Some people gather around when he starts singing this, and they clap and stuff and help kind of add to the beat and the music. And then he takes his violin and bows, and everybody whistles, and he's like, "Thank you for the apple."
Thank you for the tune.
Well, that was, I would say, a nice song, but are we done here? Maybe we should, not dilly-dally and continue to our destination. Otherwise, might be, the time is ticking.
Indeed. We should depart soon.
Okay. I'll bring the map back up. There it is. So you you see around you where bent pine. Actually, it says it's erected around a copse of wind-lashed pine trees. This about dozen buildings here. It's a kind of an outpost serving loggers and people that live out in the deep hollows and the different hollows around it. And from where it's cleared out at the town's edge, you can see that there is a... Oh, I'm going to need the map for this.
Windlash pine trees, eh?
It's something about a crossroads.
There is a farm that you can see off in the distance. Yep, right there. And several farms, in fact, that kind of are outlying in this river valley that you're in right now. And then you have forest on either side of the river valley. That is all that you can see from where you are.
Shall we follow the road, lads?
How large are these farms, just out of curiosity? Small ones?
They're small ones. They probably, each farm would have like one family.
You know, they said there used to be a empire here, but... Well, civilization, perhaps, but... Certainly it has fallen over the ages, yes. Giza's willing to follow whichever road the party wishes to take, which presumably is the one more traveled.
I'm looking here, and I don't think there's a road. The road ends basically at Bent Pine. From here, it's just bushwhacking.
Oh, even
this is a river.
Can't ping on the map. Oh, that's a river the whole way. Oh, I see now.
The road you took in is this kind of intermittent line here.
Oh, I see. I misunderstand how the map looked. Okay. Huh. So we really are out in the wilds then. Interesting.
I say that woman said, if you told me correctly, it's three rivers are going into the one place, so might as well the river that is nearby here. We may follow it, and we're gonna be where we going, I believe. It's gonna lead, yeah. So.
We shall follow the rivers to the west on the side that we're already on. Sounds good.
Indeed.
All right.
I can also speak with our skelly pals here, with Speak of the Dead, and see if they know the way.
They do not seem intelligent enough to speak. They just like groan in an otherworldly ethereal voice that you take to mean, "Release me from my horrible prison." Their eyes glow.
So Speak with the Dead wouldn't really benefit us here.
I think if you and you don't have to cast it and lose the spell, but you're able to speak with them through your powers of the tendrils of chaos, and they respond with hatred and screaming in your mind, demanding that you release them from their horrible enslavement and torment. And they seem to be in constant pain.
All right,
They're also super evil, for whatever that's worth.
It's all right, Bob and Tom. We'll let you go after we get the coffin to where it needs to be.
Yeah, you're just walking around. You're like, do you know anything about this place? And they're like, 1,000 curses upon your generations, endlessly into all time. May you suffer in the 1,000 hells of fire. You know, and like, that's what you get back. And you're like, okay, Bob.
Wow.
Good to have loyal party members. The most
Yeah.
loyal.
But can they back
Reminds
up
us
those
of
curses?
Mr. Skull.
Yeah. Patrick is gonna just hear that. It seems those friends that you have now are very charismatic. You know.
Good times.
You come upon a stream as you travel west away from Bent Pine. It takes a bit of winding through the pines nearby. Coming through this stream, you'll have to cross it if you're continuing on the river into this farm.
Yeah, might as well cross it. Is it deep? I mean, it's a stream. It shouldn't be so deep.
Yeah, no, you can cross it.
Yeah. Well, let's cross it and just continue. You know, following the river, I guess.
Alrighty, you cross it and come into a farmland that that's been cleared out and worked by some Shud folk. They look at you suspiciously and nod as you're walking. Yes, they look weird.
Ooh.
They don't seem like humans, you know.
Some interesting words. Gosh.
Weird doors like that, very deep into the mountain.
It says, in a large clearing amidst the trees stand a weather-worn log cabin and a handful of small outbuildings. Beyond the home are a number of tiered fields carved to the hillsides, containing growing crops of beans, corn, and wheat. You can see two people out on the front porch, just older people, just front porch sitting. And you reckon there's probably some people out working in the fields too.
Yeah, Patrick is gonna just, you know, good day, ladies and gentlemen. Lady and gentlemen, do you mind if we cross here? We're going to the Deep Hollows.
You can roll a d12.
Sure. Can I ask what's better?
Oh no, there's nothing better. Yeah.
Okay. It's a 9.
9. They say to you, the old woman says, y'all headed down there to the deep hollows down in the bottom?
That's right, yes.
Well, y'all be careful out there. You know old Black Cloak. He haunts them places looking to take souls and everything.
Okay.
What'd you all say?
He was inquiring on this Black Cloak character.
Oh, yeah, the devil himself, old Black Cloak. He dances around down there, makes offers to people, but in the end, he'll take your soul and put it in a jar, and it'll be his.
Thank you for the warning.
All right, now, be careful. They're just nice to you as you pass by. That's it.
Oh, yeah, Patrick. Yeah, well, thank you very much for your warning. You know, have a nice day.
They just nod stoically. You come up on another kind of creek that leads off into more farms. Where do you all go?
We should just continue. You know.
All right.
Straight.
Yeah,
Je-
until the creek until something about the creek changes, I don't think we'll change our direction.
Jessica, roll a d6. You don't want to get less than a 3. What'd you say? I missed it.
I said I barely just got a 3.
Nice. Okay. All right. Let me actually see what you might hear. You think up in the distance on a hillside you see a big shambling figure. I wonder if I got a picture of it. I guess I don't. I probably didn't see any purpose to. That's a shame. Let's see if I have it. No, that's not it. You see up on the hillside here a big shambling figure. You think near the trees, and then you look again. You wonder if it was just a tree blowing in the wind. And you said you all continue following the river?
Ooh. That shambling figure, did we get a good enough glance at it? Did it have, I'm guessing it was humanoid, but I'm imagining it was either, did it have horns on its head like a devil, or was it kind of big and wide like Bigfoot or something?
I think just Jessica saw this, and Jessica, you were looking around, you look up on the ridgeline, and you thought you saw a figure just like shambling, this thing like tree-sized humanoid figure with big long gangly arms, and then you look and then you wonder, because you don't see it, and you wonder, oh, it was probably just a tree blowing in the wind actually.
Creepy. Okay.
Creepy.
Where do you all go? Keep going on the river?
Yeah, I assume like that's the, until we hit the where we're supposed to.
It's now about afternoon. Let's see, Patrick, you can roll a d6.
Sure. That's a 6.
Nice. Let's see here. You can see down in this valley to the north, there's a bunch of wild hogs rooting around in the ground. There's a family of them. You're kind of up on, you're going. Well, you can see this anyways from where it is. And then you also see an intersection of 3 different rivers. And in the distance, you think you also see what looks like an old ruined road, an intersection that no longer serves its purpose. It's an intersection to nowhere.
Yeah, Patrick is gonna say, I think we're almost in the right place here. That woman told us about where the 3 rivers, come meet, so we are nearby, I think. What? Hey, Coffin man. Yeah. What? How do you feel? Do you feel that it's closer somewhere?
I do. I feel the power of the wheel growing stronger. We seem to be getting closer.
It's good. It's good.
Wait, it may not be wise to go over to those abandoned crossroads. Like the fiddler said, tarry not by the crossroads where the compacts are made.
What other way are we gonna get there? We're gonna sneak through the forest? Is that what you're suggesting?
I don't know.
No, I mean, it'd be simple enough as an alternate route if that's what you feel we should do.
We're probably gonna have to end up in those deep hollows regardless.
That's the route. If you think it's a good idea to go around it. I think that would be the simplest approach. I like what you're thinking. How deep are these rivers though, where they're kind of collected out there?
They probably go over the. Let me look at it again. Actually, they probably. You can see some places where you could ford, and even the dwarf could ford up to his chest. There are places where it's less deep than others, and then there are places where it gets much deeper.
Maybe we could see the map again, because like now we're like confused. Where should we go? Yeah.
So, for example, there's a little island here that breaks up the flow of the current, and the current becomes swifter. Through that island toward the crossroad is actually the deepest place, or the shallowest place and the easiest place to ford. Otherwise, you could probably backtrack and go where this creek is, down at the corner, and then travel through the woods. You could attempt to ford the river. I'll say that there's a chance you might lose stuff, or that something might happen. Or you could travel north and try to find an easier place to ford up there.
What's up with is this right here? Is that the crossroad on the map?
Mm-hmm.
That is a very odd crossroad.
I'll ask the Coffin Man if that's the direction that we need to continue on.
Well, he can't see where you're pointing. He can't see anything. So he's like,
"Oh, I'm sorry. I can't see."
Why? But gonna say, why are you all afraid of some kind of crossroad? I mean, it's just a story. Somebody. And by the way, we killed the world creature. What's there to be afraid of some kind of crossroad?
It's true. We have faced worse.
We killed numerous frogs, numerous lizards. Different kind of lizards. Bat lizards. And all different kind of things, in our adventures. And you're not all afraid of some kind of crossroad?
The fiddler sang a song about beware the crossroad where the compacts are made.
So what? So
Well, it
that's
might be nothing, it might be everything.
Crossroads should beware us at this point.
Alright, then onward we'll march.
Alrighty.
I suppose in that case we're trying to ford the river here. Is that correct, Ross? This is the spot you described, I think.
Yeah, it's broken by this island in the middle, and so you're able to ford the river at this spot much easier. Despite the current being swifter, for most of you it only comes up to your knees or thighs, and you're able to make it across and onto this strange crossroad. It's a path of large paving stones slowly emerges from the grassy meadows of the valley floor near these rivers. Gradually it reveals itself as the remnants of some ancient roadway. 100 feet ahead of you, the old road meets another, forming a crossroad of derelict highways, deep in the mountain valley, seemingly going nowhere. The four roads have once led roughly east, west, north, and southwest, but now only a short length of each remains. And as you come upon this crossroad, suddenly there's like a poof of dust and a billow of smoke, and a man is there at the crossroads at its center, and he simply looks at you all and he bows and smiles and he says,
"Well, hello there. Are you gentles looking for something?"
No. I mean, we do, but we heard about you. We know what you are.
"Oh, you've heard things."
Ain't buying what you're selling.
We'll just earn it by our own hand. Good day to you, please leave us alone.
Yeah, goodbye. Have a nice day, and old and best luck trio. We're gonna be going.
You know, the things that wait up there in that valley, they've got a power over things. Some of your friends have already changed. Some of them have perished. Some of them damned. In some ways, I can get what I need by other means, you know. Might as well have a talk, negotiate what you can get, before you end up with something you don't want. After all, and he looks at you, and then it's like he smells in the air and licks his lips, and he says, "You're needing that Luhsaal Wheel, that magical, powerful artifact that's up there in them hills."
And
I vote for just ignoring him and not saying another word to him and just walking on.
yeah, what?
Information could be free. I mean, if anything, we can just capture his soul in return, you know. One evil deed to... What would be the... I don't even remember the saying.
I have a possible idea, but I really don't want to risk it over something this silly. Are you guys familiar with the old folktale where a Norwegian boy got the devil to hop inside of a walnut?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Should I risk Grimble's soul to see if he hops into one of the apples?
Okay, well, you could risk it, and you'd be safe, okay? You'll be back with Jessica's doing, okay? In some manner, not totally, like... You might become, like, a zombie, but... Risk it if you want to. Otherwise, I say we could just try and make a deal with this guy.
He always gets what he wants when he makes a deal. I'd say we just continue on.
How about I do something more interesting?
You know,
define interesting.
I have some awfully interesting wares that could, you know, if you would just be so polite, I could say, for example, bring you Ellis back to help you. I could also, what's his name? Oh no, the other cleric. Oh no.
Dang it! You're talking about Ted.
I have to go all the way back to Ed Rufus. I could be like,
oh yeah, Ed Rufus.
I could easily call on some favors. You see, I have some connections, and your friend Ed Rufus could be back to help you once more. After all, the way he died, it's a shame, the torments that he's going through even now.
How about you just teleport where that thing is? How about that?
That's no problem at all.
Wait, no.
How about both? How about what would you want in return for Ed Rufus and to bring us to the location?
I only require just some of your time.
No,
it's not worth it.
I gonna bind that creature. Can I bind him?
Can't bind him. He's not summoned.
What do you mean by bind him? Just so I understand.
Well, it's a magic that I can do. I learned a lot of spells, and
Yeah.
It's magic that's with this spell the cleric binds a supernatural creature and forces it to obey his will.
Yeah. What is it? So that's a spell, bind creature, is that right?
Yeah, the spell is easiest if the creature has already been summoned for control via another spell, but the cleric may also cast his spirit to control creatures encountered on their native planes.
Okay. So, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I was juggling, looking here too. What is the effect? The effect of the spell is that it gives you control of the creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like animal summoning or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So I I am going to say that you can try to do it, but you look at it, and here's what it comes down to. You got to do, this is another Gandalf moment. Like, you got to slam your staff down and overpower this immensely powerful creature. So in order to do it, you have to draw your magic faster than him. Because he has his own magic.
Right.
So
maybe.
If you choose to do that, you have to go faster than he does because he can do things too.
Yeah. Maybe it's a bad idea though. I don't know. Let's just ignore him and just go on, and that's it.
I support it. I support it. I don't know whether it's a bad idea. We always have stuff to gain, right? I wouldn't say it's a bad.
I mean, if you don't want to do it, I'm willing to do it. I have binding as a memorized cleric spell.
Now, Jessica, you have so much potential. You know, I'm on friendly terms with your lord, and he's quite fond of you. Wouldn't it be something if you could, just for a bit of your time, just a little bit of who you are, you could become so much more than what your lord has thought you could be? Why? What if your lord could take the seat in the host of chaos?
That is tempting.
You know what? I'm gonna try to bind him if you are all for that. Okay, so I have that ring that gives me +2 to magical power. I also to intelligence roll. Also I have +5, and I have so I'm gonna try to do it.
I was gonna do something that's not very fair or nice, but I have a different idea. I think instead of just using an initiative roll, we should go to the spell duel rolls.
Okay, fine. Let's do it.
Wizard Wars.
Let's do it.
With the devil himself, yeah.
Yeah.
Spell duels, page 98. I've never done one, so I'm sorry. I literally have to open the book and look at it.
Oh, okay. No worries. It's a fun one to read.
Spell duel resolution. Whenever one spellcaster casts a spell is countered by the second caster, the two proceed to throw spells until one dominates the other. Both wizards and clerics can do this. You can counter the spells of clerics and vice versa. Spell duels, subsystem that breaks standard combat mechanics. So you don't have to worry about initiative in this case.
Okay.
So let's see here. Only some spells can be used to counter each other. Generally speaking, there are two kinds of counter spells. The same type of spell, like Fireball versus Fireball, or defensive, like Magic Shield versus Magic Missile, or Fire Resistance. You do initiative order, so you can go ahead and roll for initiative, actually.
Okay. Right, so also I have I need to roll D10 because it's my mercurial magic. And wait. So I don't know how do you interpret it. So the mercurial magic is like that. Count of 10. Each time the wizard casts this spell, one of his fingers or toes, at the judge's discretion, melts away. For every 2 digits lost, he suffers permanent -1 penalty of agility. So what is it? Like, do I need to roll 1d10 and see what kind of finger do I lose?
No, I think you just start to melt away and become like like this fleshy, homunculus person, and your digits flesh melts off of you. We'll just do like one negative after a few of them, though. We won't do it every single time.
Okay, so I'm gonna lose 1 finger then. Okay. That's fine. Okay, let's do it.
So it says that after I cast a spell, you can declare later in the initiative order to declare a counter spell. And then combat round is immediately pauses for resolution. The combat round immediately pauses for resolution of the spellcaster actions. Each spellcaster has completed their action, then it resumes. So basically, every single time a spell is attempted, you can attempt to counterspell like in Harry Potter, like Defense Against the Dark Arts.
Okay. So let's roll for an initiative.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm doing something stupid.
He could die. If you want to take this back now, I should be clear.
You could die, and you can also like
own the devil himself.
That stuff. Yeah.
We could die at any point, right?
Yeah,
I
Either-
almost
either
got
we
him
stay
into
with
an
that.
apple.
It's just worth noting that Patrick's been here from the beginning, and he may just die to this. Like that is absolutely how it goes.
There's also the chance of I can't ever pronounce it, but the other thing that happens, like you guys could be warped into a pocket dimension. You guys could bring other planar creatures here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, create a vortex in space time and rip away part of the world and stuff. So
More.
Okay, so should I do it or not? I don't know.
I
don't
do
want-
it. It's
that's
Patrick,
fine.
man.
This is a
it's
good
up to you.
one.
Okay.
But it's
Okay,
up to you.
fine. Yeah, let's
Okay.
like you know.
Would you get on your
Okay.
initiative?
Just let me roll. 11.
11. Okay, he got a 18 plus 5 is 23. So 23 for the devil. So he's able to act first, and the first thing he does, which you can attempt to counterspell, if so, he stops time. That's the first thing he does, which I think I have to actually have to roll for. I apologize. This is going to take a little, like I can't plan for this, if that makes sense. So I got to kind of.
Don't worry. If this is the rest of our session, this is going to be awesome.
Let's see. I'm gonna go here. Spells.
Patrick wins. That's another title for him to have.
Is time stop not in here? What would it even be? Oh man, I can't use this book. It's too big.
It's too big.
Wait, I need this spell duel. That's what I need up here, and then I need to use the. There we go. Got it. Okay, and then he has stop time. This may be a spell-like ability, to use modern RPG jargon, so it may not actually be a spell, but I'll still allow you to try to counter it. I'm trying to find where it says what it does.
Does it even have a level for what it is?
Now this is interesting. He actually, and no, it does not even.
I definitely don't think that it's listed in DCC.
Yeah, so it's not a spell. It's an ability he has. It's inherent. However, I'm going to rule that you can attempt to counter it. So I'm going to say you can do things like dispel magic. You can try invoke patron, magic shield, or an attack spell to try to interrupt it. But he's like,
Oh my
stopping
god!
time.
I would say I'm gonna use my attack spell.
So it says you're supposed to put a D20 in front of the character sheet, and it's a momentum tracker. Because these things are going to grow and get worse and worse and worse as it goes, I think.
Okay.
It starts at a 10. The attacker declares the spell. The defender declares a counter spell. So that's the next part.
Okay, so I'm gonna use my favorite scorching ray, to like, maybe
Interrupt it.
Interrupt it, yeah, if it's possible.
Yeah, you can use the fire to like encase him in a like a fiery sphere of law if you succeed, but declares a counter spell. The winner is the high roller. Now, I will say if this fails, he's able to get away, because that's actually kind of the whole point of it. Okay, so it's whoever rolls the highest.
Okay, fine. Are we rolling?
Yep.
Yeah.
He has a 14 plus. Well,
Okay. I have 8 plus 5 plus 4, so it's 8 plus plus 14.
okay, you did not beat a 24. Attacker wins moved the d20 to 11, so now his becomes an 11. And cross-reference the 2 spell checks on the spell dual check comparison table. 4-5, attacker's spell check, defender spell check. So what did you get? Again,
22.
14? 22? You got a 22?
Yeah, because I have 5 of my level. Then modifier plus 2 for my intelligence, and plus 2 from my ring. Well.
Okay, counter spell table, so now I roll a d5 to see what happens.
Dear God.
I got a 5, and it says Defender High on a 5. Mutual cancellation, both attacker and defender spells are canceled. So actually, he's unable to use his time stop. Because it says it just cancels it.
Yeah.
And then it says roll the indicated die on the counter spell table, attacker high, defender high. And his momentum now becomes an 11. I don't have a d20 in front of me, so I'm just going to mark it. If it's identical, it results in a phlogiston disturbance, which we'll get to later.
A what?
Phlogiston
That's the thing I
disturbance.
could.
What is that?
Yeah.
Destroy space-time and end the campaign in an instant, yeah. Resolve any spell effects at the resulting spell check, which we have none because they're both canceled, and it says proceed back to normal initiative. Okay, so now that was his turn, now you get a turn.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to bind him.
Okay.
So
he's going to counterspell, and he's going to use his the time again. That's going to be his his trick the whole time. These are not spells, so he only has 2 things he can do.
What?
Go ahead and roll.
Oh my god, my rolls are so bad.
I got a 28.
No, he won.
Okay, so let's see. You got, what is your total?
My total is 18.
18. Okay, now my d20 becomes a 12. I think there's something about... That's the die I should be rolling. Is that right, Glenn? Because
I believe
it's incrementing
so.
as I go? Okay, so...
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, say that number again, Eugene?
18.
18. Okay, I got 18 and 21. So let's see. 18, 21. Roll a d5.
Get spell duels so I can keep track here. Because this is a fun one. Oh, 98.
Roll a d5, Eugene.
Okay.
Forever do that one.
That's a 3.
Okay. It says Defender High, mitigate D8, so I'll roll a D8. 4, and it says subtract this from the attacker's spell check. The attacker's spell still carries through at this lower spell check, and the defender's spell is canceled. That doesn't make any sense, does it? So is it like if you roll high, you lose? It says Defender High. This is the first time I've done this, and it is slightly complicated.
It is. It's a little more complicated.
If the attacker has the higher spell, use the attacker high. Otherwise, use Defender High. So it actually looks like it's almost the opposite. That doesn't make any sense because then crappy spellcasters will always do better. But anyways, we'll see what happens. It says it still carries through at the lower spell check level, and the defender's spell is canceled.
Okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
I think the real devil is the magical rules we learned along the way.
Spell takes... The other one is Overwhelm. Attack spell takes effect and defender spell is canceled. Okay, so we'll just see what happens, because, I mean, you know... So you can go ahead and roll the... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Glenn.
If I'm... Okay, so... You can... So the higher your momentum, I'm assuming, because it's not really detailed super well. If the attacker has a higher momentum, they can roll on the attacker high.
Oh.
And you can do things to the defender, or it's like their spell has overwhelming and becomes bigger, and then the defenders becomes higher. And the momentum thing, they roll on there and see it, basically the same thing. Overwhelm, stuff at normal result.
So this is only if you actually succeed or fail. Like the defender, as part of the counter spell, can invoke, alright, I want to cancel part of the damage, which is what happened. Okay, so I don't have to take that. Like, that would be, that wouldn't make any sense. Okay. So you have to actually win first, which makes sense, right?
Yeah, so like the higher your momentum dice, if you succeed each spell duel, then you roll on that. Kind of like a mighty deed, I guess.
Okay. All right. So that canceled. So then you just didn't cast the spell. So it's his turn. So he's going to try to stop time again. Are you going to try to use? Do you still have your? Oh no, he got a nat one.
That's right. Even El Diablo gets natural ones too.
Something distracts him. Can you roll go ahead and roll your thing, because it might affect it. And then your D20 becomes an 11, and now you have but you're still not higher than me, because I've got a 20, I've got a 12, and you're at an 11. So
I need to do what now? Just roll to succeed the magic, and that's it. Yes.
Yeah, you just have to overcome his power. So you gotta not roll a 1. I'll just
okay.
Okay, yeah, so you got higher.
Yeah.
So
and
you successfully
plus
counterspell him. So at this point, since the attacker is high, you can choose to roll. Let's see, I got a nat 1. So I'll just go to the bottom, and then your result was what's your total?
15.
Okay, so you can roll a d5 if you want on the attacker high table. Well, no, you don't have to, because the spell failed. Okay, so you can roll again.
Okay.
And these will keep getting bigger, is what it is. The momentum's going up. So yours becomes a 12 now, I think. No, it was an 11 from that. Okay.
11, yeah.
Yeah.
They'll keep getting bigger until a phlogian disturbance occurs, and then the DM rolls to see what actually happens with that.
Right, and I have the phlogiston disturbance table here. Okay,
what's 18 in total?
18. Okay, I got a 26. Okay, so it fails again, but yours. Let's see. So mine goes up to a 13. Ooh. All right, and I'm gonna try to stop time again. Actually, the spell takes effect. But at this point, he's having fun, so I'm going to just go ahead and see if I can break reality. Yeah, roll a d20. All right. 28 versus...
18?
28 versus an 18 becomes a d8 this time. And I'm going to take it. Oh, it's not a counterspell. I don't have to do that. Do I want him to just disappear, or do I want him to torment you all now? Stop time, buy soul. He's going to try to get your soul.
There you go.
He's going to see this through to the end at this point. He's going to attack you. No, he won't do that. He's just going to keep letting you cast spells until something happens at this point. Okay, so I don't have to do the D8 attacker high. Oh, yeah, no, I might get a benefit from it. I'm totally going to do it. D8. And my momentum goes up. I get an 8. This turns into a 14. So an 8, it says overwhelm and reflect d6. Roll d6, subtract from the defender's spell check. The attacker's spell takes effect first, and the defender's spell check is reflected back on him at the lower spell check result. So, if we were to subtract 1 from your spell check, what would be your result?
You mean attacking spell, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's minus. So I rolled like it was 18.
So
yeah.
you
So
What's your
get a
spell
7.
result at 17? Yeah.
yeah. So it's a 17. So it's just give me a second. Sorry.
This is going to be happening to you.
I understand that.
It's like, man, I know. It's just spell duels. Wizard Wars.
Yep. So it's 1d8 plus caster level damage.
Okay. He is max
So
level.
1d8 plus 5. Ah, okay.
Okay, so what is the max level for... Let me see that. It goes to 10. That's what I thought. So he just reflects... He's just dancing as you do this and just enjoying as you try to cast a spell against him. He glances this back. You take 15 damage.
Yeah. I have
And-
AC of 16, so...
Oh, is it a spell attack?
Well, yeah, right.
Okay,
Attack, so
I'll do a spell
passes
attack.
through. Passes through.
Okay, does a 27 hit?
Yeah, it does. So it's 50. No, it's okay. It's I have one health left. Okay.
Okay, so
Alright.
he does that. He's dancing. He's like, "Now, Patrick, you could just be. We could discuss this politely, you know."
I should discuss it politely. It seems I did a very grave mistake to try to do it. I was a little bit full of myself.
It's all just water under the bridge, Patrick. I'm sure that we can come to an understanding later. And he winks at you all and disappears.
Yeah.
Good times, good times.
I will
Yep.
have to take this call, so I'm gonna stop the recording there for a minute.
Not a problem.
Water under the bridge.
Just having spell duels in the backwoods with the devil, like totally normal RPG
Hold on
things.
just a moment, I'm sorry.
It is Dungeon Crawl Classics.